Wyandotte Street, and I've been there for just about 3 weeks shy of 34 years. I was elected out of the ad hoc committee for the Birds of Flight to be the chairperson, and I have just a quick report, just a few remarks to make, because we have sent all of you, and I apologize again to Beth, we didn't have her name, so we didn't know to get her a packet until just a couple of minutes ago, but we got a packet around to everybody that included a few of the 60 documents that flew back and forth amongst us over email during the last 3 months. First, I want to thank George Howard, the president of the board, and the rest of the board for letting us come here this morning and talking to you and giving you a full report even after having given you the packets. And the second thing I want to say is to commend the committee. We have several of our members here today. This committee worked extremely hard. We had 3 meetings, but in between all those meetings there was a tremendous amount of work done. We contacted a lot of local experts, talked to Jack T. Bowen's family, and I want to say also that the committee was very collegial and very cooperative. It was a really nice group of neighbors to meet with. At this point, I want to turn our remarks over to Myrna. She has a few things to say before we make the recommendation.
The book I was passing around disappeared. Oh, here. You might all want to, I'll have to take this back with me because it's from the Kansas City Art Institute. At the moment, this book, Jack Bowen's, is not for sale except through THEBIRDS.wmv. It was published by Mary Beth Lake, who is Jack Bowen's aunt, and Mary Beth Lake's son, Kevin, who lives in Colorado. Mary Beth lives in the Prairie Village and has done a lot of the work on this, so you might want to look at it. It's possible that the Nelson Atkins will also begin to carry this. I had asked them when I was there looking at their other display yesterday, and they weren't aware of it, but they're considering it. So the family has been wonderful in answering questions, in trying to find out information. Alverna, who is Jack Bowen's wife, lives in Colorado, and Kevin, the nephew, has spoken with her fairly often, but she's quite old. Her memory is not what it once was, and although she can bring forth some files and some information, she did not remember anything about our sculpture. So they are eager to have it restored, and they are very supportive of the work that Jack did. He did a lot of work at Corinth. He did a lot of work at the landing, all the sculptures at the landing. He did the, I forgot
Christophe Memorial.
Christophe, yes, down on Paseo. He has done a number of different sculptures that are listed in this book, as well as the east side of the Board of Trade, which is probably the biggest sculpture. He also has done a lot of painting. He was a student of Thomas Hart Benton. And all that is neither here nor there, except that he was an accomplished artist. And I hope that we will consider and vote yes to restore this piece, which has been a part of our community. If you have any questions that I can answer, I'm happy to do so.
Let me make a few more remarks. One of our really strong members of the committee has been out of town, and we've been in touch with him, and you have too. He emailed you last evening. That's Bill Mitchell. Some people call him Mitch, former president of this board of directors. back a few years ago, lived in the neighborhood for a very long time. And I'm going to just quickly paraphrase some of the things that he wrote in that message to you. He says he thinks that the sculpture is a fine and unique work of public art. It was commissioned by a previous board of directors, such as yourselves, for our own neighborhood. And it's something special in our neighborhood and gives pride to the neighborhood. It's obviously in a state of real damage right now. Most of us really had trouble remembering exactly what it looked like until we came up with the photograph, which you saw in your packet. And it's hard to believe. I think people with a better visual imaging processing than I have were able to kind of turn the thing over in their own mind and say, oh yeah, it's twisted and turned and hung down, but this is the way it looked when I first moved in the neighborhood. We've had several meetings. Myrna has had several meetings, and Bill was there once with the Zahner Corporation, and they are eager to work on it and think that it is worth restoring. We know what the cost of the restoration will be. We even checked back a second time with Zahner after we got the picture, fearing that maybe it would raise the bid, and it did not. We feel that because the Homes Association does have a fund of money that has been accruing over a long period of time, that the association should and could fund that restoration. And the board voted 5-3 to recommend that that restoration do happen. I also would like to ask you sincerely to put our documents and the records that we've given you into your own board minutes. I want to commend Tom Cook. He did a lot of research. He started the ball rolling, and he had a very difficult time going back in the records of the Homes Association, which is really unfortunate. That is what took us so long to get a lot of the material. Eric finally tracked down a photo because we couldn't find a photo anywhere in our own records. We had very little information from our own records that we could find. So I really do ask that you put these records into the records of the Homes Association. Thank you very much.
Okay, very good.
Thank you.